If you love playing MTGO, please make sure you check out my sponsors in the description below. Mana Traders, I've got a sweet discount code. Just head there and you can start playing whatever deck you want.
Hey everyone, it's Matt from Total MTG here, and welcome to the second deck tech of the week. If you missed Monday's video, there'll be a link below, or cards going up everywhere. Like I say, you can just go and follow that one, and please do go and check it out if you haven't had a chance to watch it already. But on to today's brew. Today, we're taking to the skies again. It's Izzet Dragons. This is such a powerful, fun deck. I really, really like it. You know, dragons in standard at the moment, we've got some powerful, powerful creatures using dragons. And of course, there's a certain little planeswalker go by the name of Sarkhan Fireblood that can just fit very well into this deck as well. So we run 26 spells in total, 10 creatures and 24 lands for this deck. There is a deck list below, so make sure you go and do that. It takes you across to Mana Traders. You can see how much the deck costs, and if you want to hire the cards as well, just use my little sub-plan. So we're going to start off by looking at the removal in the deck with a 4-off shock to start with. Instant speed, 2 damage, going to hit a lot of creatures early, which is what you need. Hitting that turn 1 land of our elves is nice as well, but there's a lot of other creatures that come down with 2 toughness that we'll be able to take away and stop that initial aggro attack on us. Lava Coil is in there as a 3-of as well. 4 damage to target creature. If the creature would die, you get to exile it instead. Lava Coil, sorcery speed, yeah, but it still hits so many creatures doing that 4 damage. As well as our next one, which is instant speed 4 damage, which is Spit Flame. This, whenever Dragon enters the battlefield as well, under your control, we pay 1 red and we get it back to our hand. Really, really cool. We've got a little tiny bit of graveyard action here, even though we're in Izzet colours, because we have some jumpstart cards. And obviously Spit Flame, we're playing dragons, we have 10 dragons in total. So the chances are we are going to get Spit Flame back, potentially at one point in our match. We do have a little bit of counter magic here. We've got a couple of Essence Scatter, which is pretty much needed. A turn 2 count spell for all these creature-based decks is really good. And a couple of Iron Eyes as well that works very well in the Izzet colours because it does damage as well as countering target spell. This does cost 1 blue and a red, but it's just a very, very good counter spell. On to the card draw now. So what do we get to use to draw our card and siphon through our deck? Well, we get to use Risk Factor, which sometimes will do damage. You know, this isn't really card draw, but it can be card draw. Potentially it can draw you 3 cards, and it can do 4 damage instead in case you don't get to draw the 3 cards. So early game, you know, you're probably going to just be doing the 4 damage, but late game, Risk Factor will potentially draw you 3 cards. If we've got them down to lower life total, they're not going to be wanting taking 4 damage with these big flyers in there, and potentially a counter spell that can do damage, or they, you know, they might think we've got Shock, or they might think we've got Lightning Strike, even though we haven't. Lightning Strike I did leave from the deck. I just felt like I wanted, you know, more removal. I'm not going for a burn package here. We've got shocks that can get rid of early creatures. It's not potentially really going for a dome, but it's nice if it can do occasionally. But our removal is very creature-based with the Lava Coil and Spit Flames. Risk Factor can do 4 damage. Potentially 2 of them in a deck can obviously become 4 because he's got the Jumpstart. I love the card. I said it last week. It's just a really, really cool card. Chemist's Insight is also there to draw cards for us. Draw 2 cards and has the Jumpstart effect as well. So you can go to the graveyard. You can cast it again by discarding a card and then drawing another 2 cards. 4 of these in the main deck. I haven't decided whether it's as good as Glimmer. No, it's not as good as Glimmer of Genius, actually. I have decided. What am I saying? I've decided in the matter of a second. But Chemist's Insight is still a very, very nice card. Then we're going to have a 2-of. Now, I've seen a few Dragon lists going around. They don't play this, but Dragon's Horde is a cool, cool card. And when you're playing Dragons, how can you not have Dragon's Horde in your deck? It's a very nice card. Whenever Dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you put a gold counter on it, and then remove a gold counter to draw a card. And this also taps for 1 mana of any colour. Now, when you've got Dragons that cost triple blue, triple red, you know, this could prove to be pretty handy. Potentially, it's got card draw as well. We do have 10 dragons on there, but it's whenever a dragon enters the battlefield. The Sarkhan obviously can ultimate, -7, puts 4/5/5 dragons down. That's probably just going to win you the game in anyway, but it wouldn't be bad if this was on the field and you get to draw 4 cards as well. You know, that's never going to be a bad thing. Dragon's Horde has definitely, in testing, it's held its weight for the, you know, for the inclusion in the deck, and I'm very happy with it. At the moment, it's a 2-of. I might just sneak it up to 3 with a little bit more practice, but at the moment, it's doing well as a 2-of. So let's get to our 10 creatures here. Big dragons, all of them. Starting off with a 4 of Demanding Dragon, 5/5/5 for 5. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage to target opponent unless that player sacrifices a creature. This dragon has a lot of 5s around it. I like it. We only ran 4 of them, not 5 obviously because we're not allowed. But it's a very, very sweet card. Comes down, either going to get rid of, you know, maybe an important creature if you're playing control. Sometimes, like I say, they only have that one creature. If not, they might sack something that's, you know, not really worth the worry about. But it can do 5 damage as well. So potential 20 damage in those just 4 creatures alone. Verix Bladewing is there as a 2 of its legendary 4/4 flyer, and if it can be kicked as well, which is really cool because, like, you know, we're not going to be playing this. Potentially, you're not going to be playing this very early. Sometimes you might have to, but there's only 2 in the deck. When it ends the battlefield, if it was kicked, you create a legendary 4/4 red dragon as well with flying. So you can pay, you know, 7 mana. You get 2 4/4s. That's pretty good maths to me, and I like that in the deck. Next one is Izzet Dragons from Guilds of Ravnica Standard. We got this big dragon wizard. It can't be countered, has flying. Whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. So it can do player, planeswalker, or, you know, or creature. Very nice. We've got card draw in here. We've got Chemist's Insight. We've got Risk Factor potentially, and Dragon's Horde, and Sarkhan Fireblood as well. You may discard a card that you'll see in a minute, and it helps you draw a card as well. So it all works in very well in combination with Izzet Dragons. The 5/5 stats are very nice. Stays out the way of lava, coil, spit, flames, you know, stuff like that. Whenever a player casts an instant sorcery card, we draw a card as well, so it does damage. You know, when that's just it's a really, really cool card. The triple blue, triple red has never been a problem when I've been playing this at all. You know, we've got Steam Vents, Sulphur Falls, and Dragon Horde that can obviously tap for any 1 mana as well. Izzet is there as a 2 of. Absolutely great legendary creature for us. The last creature we have is a 2 of Laughless Dragon Queen. So it's a 6/6 flyer, 4/6, very nice. Whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield, you get to create a 5/5 red dragon token with flying. And dragons you control, we got a bit of fire breathing here. We can give them all +1/+0 till end of turn. And we can do that multiple times just by paying the 1 and the red mana. Laughless, nice, big stats, 6/6 for 6, and obviously has other effects. If we can get this down potentially before some other, you know, some other of our dragons, we're going to be making more dragons. It's just going to be a mass battlefield of dragons. That's what we really want to see. We don't want to see wrath from our opponent. You know, we've got the sideboard we can bring in and bring in some counter magic for that and help us out a little bit. But these creatures are going to be so big. Not as big as a Gouter, but our creatures will be able to fly over that Gouter and potentially win us the game. So I spoke about this a lot in the deck tech. It's our Planeswalker. We got a 4 of Sarkhan Fireblood. We had to have it in there. The dragon. You may discard a card if you do draw a card. I said about the interaction with Izzet, very, very good. And if we have to discard, you know, a Spit Flame, a Risk Factor, a Chemist's Insight, you know, if we don't need that at the time to maybe find one of our creatures, a counterspell, something like that, they do have Jumpstart and potential ways to get them back. So it's always going to be a good interaction for that. We can add 2 mana of any colours, you know, which is very good when you've got a Izzet, a triple blue, to cast one of our dragons. Very, very sweet. And the -7, creating 4 5/5 red dragon creature tokens with flying. Basically, potentially, that is just GG's. So we're going to get to the land base now. We have a 1 of Detection Tower. As I said, I put one of these in nearly every one of my brews, dealing with those hexproof creatures. Then tapping for the blue and the red, we have a playset of Steam Vents and also of Sulphur Falls. Then the rest of it is basic mountains and basic islands. I've left out the Izzet Guild Gates in this one, but you could potentially just have that as a 2 of if you want. But the deck's been running fine with those 8 tapping for the blue and the red. It's been very, very consistent, and I'm quite happy with the mana base, shall I say. So before we get to the sideboard, let's have a little run through our deck and what our plan is. Early removal is what you need in your hand when you get your opening hand. You need your shocks, your lava coils, spit flames, or counter magic to, you know, hold off that early barrage of creatures potentially coming at you. Obviously, if you're playing control, you can use them different ways. Some of the cards might be dead in your hand. But then we've got, you know, you're bringing in more counter magic that you'll see soon from the sideboard. We've got plenty of card draw, Risk Factors potential, Chemist's Insight, Dragon's Horde is there. Then we've got Izzet that can do stuff, Sarkhan. You know, having a turn 3 Sarkhan down can be very, you know, pretty much can be game winning because you'll be ramping early into maybe your Demanding Dragon or your Verix, or maybe your Izzet early. You know, once you get out of the field, it doesn't take many attacks to win the game with that. Planeswalkers, we do have 4 of them, so if they got, you know, the Vraska's Contempt, we can still recover and get another one back. We've got Graveyard Interaction as well. And then, you know, Dragon's Horde, very, very cool card. Get those gold counters on there. You can remove them to draw cards, or it can just be sweet as just maybe tapping for that extra mana that you needed if you get a little bit mana screwed. All in all, it's a great Izzet deck, I find. It's got the right amount of removal, bit of card draw, and it's got big creatures to fly over the top. What else do you want from a great Izzet Dragon deck? So now let's get to the sideboard now. We run a 2 of Blink of an Eye in there where we can bounce, potential, planeswalkers that are going to ultimate. This is really good. You can kick it also to draw a card. If they're coming in for their final attack, you can use a Blink of Eye just to send it back to your opponent's handing and maybe save you the turn that you might actually need just to win the game. Like I said, we've got more counter magic in there. We've got an Essence Scatter to take it up to 3 if we need to. Disdainful Stroke is in there as a 1 of. And we also have a 3 of Negate. Once they see these big dragons, they want to be removing them. But Negate, 2 mana to counter their Vraska's Contempt and stuff like that. And Negate is basically just a great counter spell. Counters target non-creature spell, 2 mana, instant speed. It's just brilliant. So we're going to a little bit more removal here and a little bit of burn that we have. Fiery Cannonade is in there. Great coming in because it's instant speed removal and can potentially clear a field. If they've all got loads of tokens down or small creatures, weenie, anything like that, Fiery Cannonade can come down and sweep the field for you. Fight of Fire is in there as a 1 of. If we can pay that Kikagos and do 10 damage, that is a potential win con as well. But doing the 5 damage to target creature, that is cool as well because it can hit opponents if they're playing Demanding Dragon or a creature of that type of size. We also have 2 of Inescapable Blaze. I like this in there because it can't be countered, so when you're playing against control decks, you can bring this in. 6 damage to any target. 6 damage is a lot. Kill creatures, kill planeswalkers, kill players. Inescapable Blaze to me is a really cool card. I love that it can't be countered. Yes, it does cost 6 mana, but you're doing 6 damage, and you know that it will get through. We also then have a 1 of Sorcerer's Spyglass in the sideboard as well that helps you against planeswalkers. And then we have a 2 of Expansion Explosion. I did try this in the main to start with, but I prefer it coming in from the sideboard. Copy target instant sorcery spell, becoming a mana cost of 4 or less. You may choose new targets. Cast on the Chemist's Insight and then doing it again. Copying a risk factor is very cool. Potentially sometimes you might want to copy a shock. You never know. You might just need to win the game and do that. And also Explosion is gold because it deals X damage to any target but helps you draw cards. So if you've got a Niv Mizzet down and you don't know what else to do with all that mana, you cast it and you're just going to do so much damage. Niv's going to hit them. Explosion's going to hit them. That potentially as well could be a next kind of win con for you. So there's Thursday's Deck Tech, guys. It's Izzet Dragons. I hope you like it. If you fancy going Grixis and you've got got the money for those Nico bonuses, you could add in maybe a little bit of black. Black adds some very strong cards to the deck. But then you're going 3 colours. I fancy going 2 colours of this because you've got Niv Mizzet that's hard to cost, triple blue, triple red. If I want to add black in as well, it's just going to make it a little bit harder. This is why I kept it to Izzet for this brew. I feel like it's quite strong, has early removal, counter spells, drawing cards. Cool, get to use cool new cards like Niv Mizzet and Dragon's Horde. Really sweet deck. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoy the deck. If you are new to us, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Look out for a video on Saturday now. I'm going to put a gameplay video up of one of the recent deck techs on this Saturday's video. So, I'm going to give it a try. I don't know how I'm going to, keep to which format I'm going to keep to, how I'm going to record it, but I'm going to, try a few different things. But there will be a gameplay video up this Saturday. So please make sure you come back for that. Anyway, guys, you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you on the next video.